We came to CAK during my son's second grade year. Kim Giles, in her wisdom, said, "This kid needs Kim Jenkins." She changed Jace's life. She loved him back to being my happy little boy. She helped him learn also that there is redemption in consequences, and you can face those consequences and your teachers still love you. And it just totally built him back up. And then he was able to love school again. I have told her many times how eternally grateful I will be for changing his life. I don't think there has ever been a child in the history of the world who has ever loved a teacher more than Addie Farrington loves Lee Price. And it was just incredible. They were just two peas in a pod. Ms. Price is really great at allowing students to be themselves and express themselves while also cultivating learning at the same time. And that just has allowed Addie to thrive. My time as a CAK student was really marked by how wonderful all of my CAK teachers were and the relationships that I had with them. So my senior year of high school, my sister, who was just 18 months younger than me and was a junior at CAK, was killed in a car accident while she was driving to CAK to school. I heard her walking down the stairs that morning, and I almost said, "Hey, Jess, wait. You can just ride with me. I'm almost ready." But I didn't. When I pulled out of our road, I saw her car in the ditch. Jessie was my best friend. We did everything together. We'd stop in the hallways and switch shoes. We'd stay up all night in each other's beds and talk about boys. We were inseparable. So I went from being a kid who made all A's to a kid who just didn't even want to get out of bed in the morning, because if I could stay asleep, then I didn't have to deal with my reality.
I just remember, especially with Ashley, she was such a vibrant light of a person, and Jessie was the same way. And I just remember it was painful knowing, like looking at her and seeing, it was like the candle was extinguished. It was hard knowing that she was in that kind of pain, because I knew what it felt like, and it's a pain that nobody understands unless they've gone through it.
It was my teachers who helped me survive that year. I could not have gotten through it. I don't want to know where I'd be or who I'd be without them. Lisa Syard would bring lunch for her and I to have in her room, and she'd say, "No questions today, Ashley and I are having lunch." Melody Durham would come by my house and just check on me and check on my parents, which was so important because my parents were dealing with their own grief, and to have somebody who was looking after both of us was important to me, because then I didn't feel like it was my responsibility as well to have to carry my parents' grief along with my own. Bonnie Daves, she was incredible. She and her husband were the one who drove me home from the hospital after the decision was made to take my sister off life support. They helped root me in my faith during that time and not lose sight of God as a loving father.
I had a brother who died when he was 22. One of my first thoughts when Ashley came to me after Jessie's accident was that now I got to be on the other side of that, and I got to be her person who knew what it felt like. And that was also the moment at which I realized, you know, we hear about God making beauty out of ashes, but I thought, this is the first good that I've seen come from my brother's death, is that I can be there for her.
I don't know how I would have survived my senior year without you. Knowing that there was somebody in my corner who knew the grief that I experienced and was willing to walk that with me. Not only did she point me toward Christ through all of that, but it helped me choose my future career. And I thought about, well, what made the biggest difference in my life? And that was my CAK teachers. And then now that we're coworkers, one of the most important things to me is starting every single year off praying together in her room. She has a special way of reaching, like she reached me. When we raise funds to benefit staff, we're actually not just benefiting staff, we're benefiting the students, because we do what we do because we love the students, and everything that the school pours into us, we pour back into the kids.
So I've just appreciated being part of many of the important aspects of your life. And it's wonderful having you here and praying with you.
I love you.
I love you too.